Brokers are expecting the unexpected. Margin changes due to the Israel war just hit. Due to high risk of extreme market volatility, we have temporarily set these margins to 100% exchange maintenance margin requirement. This means that hedge funds can borrow $300,000 with only having $30,000 collateral, 10 to 1 as an example. 100% margin requirements means they need $300,000 in collateral to borrow $300,000. So in a regular world, not necessarily a fair world or a fair market, hedge funds would only need $30K to borrow $300K, but now they need $300K to borrow $300K, acting as their collateral. And in this example, they would need to come up with $270,000 additional collateral or be margin called. Every situation is different ratios, etc., but this example is to explain the mechanics of it. Now, maintenance margin on ES is $11,200 USD. Amp intraday margin is typically $400 USD. Amp is saying you need $11,200 free cash in your account to purchase one ES contract. At the current price, if you purchase one ES contract, you have about $250,000 in exposure. They have since went back to $400 intraday margin. So just another example that every situation is different, but the margin requirements are tight. What is going on, guys? Lottery Stocks here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel if you're new. Now, you all have heard about the Israel-Palestine war, and it's going to affect AMC and the stocks that we cover in today's video. But make sure to watch until the end, because I'm going to give you guys some stocks that this really could make blow up and that you could potentially make a decent amount of money on. So all I ask you guys to do in return is please hit the like button. It's free. It helps me out. Get us to 17,000 subscribers. Let's get into it. So margin requirements are tightening, and this could trigger margin calls across the board, especially with what's happening with the overall market. We're going to jump back into that a little bit later. I want to cover a few things happening with AMC. Taylor Swift just helped AMC notch its highest ever single day ticket revenue in its 103-year history, and the Eras tour as a whole is expected to generate $2.2 billion in North American ticket sales and stimulate approximately $5 billion in consumer spending in the United States alone. There is a strong likelihood that through this partnership, AMC could earn around $1 billion. With the film's debut already generating sky-high ticket sales, AMC's chances of turning a profit on the deal look excellent. So a potential $1 billion on AMC just for this Taylor Swift Eras tour, and who's to say she won't have another tour through AMC, and who's to say the other artists will generate less. So very solid income stream for AMC. A quick touch on the Ortex numbers: 11.62% short interest, utilization at 64%, and the cost to borrow is not being reported as of now on AMC for Ortex. 1.7 million shares available to borrow according to Stonko Tracker, and we are still winning on the options chain. 24,000 calls compared to 4,000 puts expiring in the money, and more being bet out of the money. Options chain still looking bullish, coming for the weeks ahead, but be aware market makers are loading up on these short exempts to keep the price action down. Now, AMC is trading at $9.25, basically flat on the day. If you didn't see my price prediction video yesterday, make sure to go watch that. At some point this week, I expect AMC to come up to about $10.75 and then hang around that level for some resistance for at least a few days or so. As of right now, basing above $9 is something that I like to see. Plus, the volume is kicking in on the buy side. It shows that buyers are taking control, at least at this price. Now, Charles Gasparino's wife's streaming company, Cobblecord, has officially gone out of business, which is pretty ironic that this guy bashes AMC and his wife had a streaming business, which is basically a competitor of movie theaters. Well, her company just went out of business and AMC is thriving, so what does he have to say for this? GameStop trading at $14.99, down 0.6% on the day, kind of chop trading right here, creating a spring. We need to see a break over $15.60 and then a break over $16.30 for GameStop to even get close to being out of the woods. Again, bearish case scenario right around $13.35. Before we get into some important stuff, 500,000 shares available to borrow on GameStop. The fee is very low. We're losing on the options chain. They are loading up on short exempts. Overall, it looks bearish. Very, very bearish. Even though the algos are keeping it green, it does look very bearish. Now, there are a lot of comparisons to current conditions and previously recessionary periods. Interestingly, banks are now tightening lending standards significantly. According to Apollo, lending standards are now near 2008 levels. However, the Fed and many large banks say we are on track for a, in quotes, soft landing. When soft landing is the consensus, it's usually a bad sign. Lending standards tightening are also a product of the regional bank crisis. Banks are bracing for a recession while the Fed continues to call for a soft landing. So we saw in the beginning of the video the margin requirements tightening, lending standards are tightening, which is a sign that the bank crisis is still here. So just be aware of that. Plus, since we are on the topic of banks, 260 billion in deposits now exit the top banks this year alone. And before we get into war stocks, and then the S&P 500 to close out the video, make sure to pop in the Discord, guys. I'm in there on the daily, so if you want to come talk with me, I will respond. Plus, about 500 of the most amazing people are in there. We have gotten a lot of new members lately. We post gains, post losses, talk stocks, and have options trading alerts in there. Plus, I post my trades as soon as I take them. I haven't been trading that much, but that's because I have something coming up. Hopefully getting in there this week. I know I've been announcing it, but hopefully getting in there this week. Get in the Discord. The link is right under the video and pinned in the top comments. And with that link, side by side, is the Moomoo link. If you have a penny in your account, use my link, sign up for Moomoo, and make it a positive, even a penny, to start earning benefits of up to 16 free stocks, each valued up to $2,000 per stock, a guaranteed Tesla or Google stock, and $50 sent to your account. The more you deposit, the better the benefits. So go to that, use my link. There's no reason not to do so. Plus, you get access to free level 2 order book data, trading options, going long, going short, and more. Both of those links are in the description and pinned in the top comments. Many of you may have heard about the war, and if you haven't, here's a short that I posted yesterday.
Many of you probably have heard that Israel is now at war. This comes from a surprise Hamas attack. Now, the U.S. military is getting involved, sending U.S. Navy ships close to Israel in response to these attacks. They are also sending F-35 fighter jets to the Middle East as well. Plus, the Pentagon is apparently set to announce military aid package for Israel as soon as Sunday. But why did Joe Biden send $75 million in aid to Palestine right before the attacks on Israel? Now, what do you guys think about this? But we also have some more stuff to cover because Russia is getting involved. Apparently, a Russian hacker group has hacked the Israel government website. Now, whether this is Russia themselves or just a group from Russia, it may get Russia involved. Now, all of this may trigger Israel to commit a war crime. The Defense of Israel says that rules have changed and they will cripple Gaza so that they will remember it for the next 50 years. Is this the start of World War III?
Now, more and more are joining, making it more scary and potentially leading into a World War III. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Iran says that if it is attacked, Israel will be attacked from Lebanon, Yemen, Iraq, and fighters from Syria will be sent to join the war. Now, this sounds kind of messed up, but how do we profit from this? War stocks. Ticker symbol BA. Boeing, helicopters, fighter jets, and more. LMT, Lockheed Martin, fighter jets, transport aircrafts, and more. NOC, Northrop Grumman, bombers, surveillance drones, etc. Ticker symbol RTX, Raytheon Technologies, missile defense system, cruise missiles, etc. These companies are all major suppliers of the US military and other militaries around the world. Their products are used in a wide range of military operations, including airstrikes, ground combat, and missile defense. So these may be some good investments, or maybe it's a buy the rumor, sell the news type of deal. The more and more news that comes out on the war, the more these stocks are going to scale up, and that is maybe a point where you sell these tickers. Not financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor, but the bigger players may have already gotten in. Now, to close out the video, US national debt is now over 33.5 trillion for the first time in history, and we are adding billions of dollars every few hours at this point. Closing out the video with the overall market, the S&P 500 trading at 429.11, down 0.1% on the day, which is surprising, especially based off of the news that we had. On Friday, we had a major green candle, and we actually had a ton of volume on this candle, and we hit the supply zone right around 431 to 431.50. The SPY is accumulating to retest that and break above potentially. Remember that the September-October sell-offs do not last that long. Again, if the SPY does come down, I'm watching between 409 and 413 as a bottom. And if it doesn't, which it doesn't have to necessarily come down, then watch for a break over 431.50 and then 436 on the S&P 500. Overall, guys, you let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Hopefully you enjoyed watching or found value out of the video. Make sure to hit the like button on your way out. Check the links. I love you all. Lottery Stocks out.